A dangerous heat wave will make parts of Texas among the hottest places on Earth today. Yes, you heard that right. Triple-digit temperatures are hitting much of the state earlier than usual, and it's sparking concern. Some local power grids just may not be ready. Let's bring in Doug Lewin now. He's host of the Energy Capital podcast, and he's also a Texas energy expert and a professor at the University of Texas at Austin with expertise in the electric grid, renewable energy, and more. Great to have you on this topic, and folks should be aware Texas has its own grid. It's disconnected from the rest of the country. It's not regulated, I believe, by the federal government. So why is the timing of this heat wave, such an early heat wave in Texas, so concerning to so many people there?
Well, I think, first of all, thanks for having me. I think folks are, paying a lot more attention to the grid these days after Winter Storm Uri. So there's just a lot of attention on the grid and the performance of the grid. And obviously, if you get something like we just got with a 100-degree temperature in Austin yesterday, that is going to raise a lot of eyebrows because usually you don't get 100 degrees in May, right? Usually we don't get a 100-degree day until July. And we are starting to see the impacts of climate change that are hitting. And this has real impacts on the grid. The heat is a real strain on infrastructure. It also limits the amount of time that the thermal power plants, think of like big gas and coal plants, have to go offline for maintenance, just like your car needs maintenance sometimes. These are really big, complicated machines, much more complicated than a car. They need to take months often for maintenance. And as it gets hotter and hotter in the spring, that maintenance window gets shorter and narrower, which makes it more likely there's going to be outages in the summertime. So this early heat really is concerning for a variety of reasons.
And Texans will have fresh memories of the grid going down during a cold snap when it was freezing throughout the state. This is very risky for the elderly and for super young folks. And climate change is the type of thing that organizations have been warning about for decades. So in many ways, we did know this was coming. What's your assessment in how prepared the Texas grid is for what we all knew would be grueling or more grueling summers?
Well, there is some really good news here, which is that Texas has deployed more utility scale solar than any other state in the United States, and at a faster pace than just about any place in the world. Certainly China and Pakistan and a few other places are deploying more solar, but within the U.S., number one and ranking very high globally as well. So that makes a very, very big difference in the summertime. Obviously, if you think about these heat waves, the hotter it gets, typically the more sunny it is. So Texas now has over 30,000 megawatts of solar. To put that in perspective, the all-time May peak record was set yesterday at about 78,000. So 25 to 30% of the power, all that air conditioning churning all over the great state of Texas was provided by solar power. And those numbers are increasing too. So that helps with our preparedness. I think where we've really got to sort of dial up the preparedness is on the distribution grid, because it really needs hardening, because when it gets hot, things start to sort of, melt down, right? That heat day after day, week after week, month after month puts a lot of strain on infrastructure. And I don't think we're ready for that yet.
Yeah, at the very least, you got those solar panels, though. I know my mom in Arizona had to put some on her roof as well to help with the energy bill. We all will need them soon. Doug Lewin, we appreciate you joining us. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much for having me.